In this video, you're going to learn how to pick up girls like Jack Harlow. And for those of you who don't know, he's a rapper who has very quickly built a large audience. He's becoming famous, and it hasn't taken him very long to do so. But he also happens to be good with women. He also happens to be very charming when it comes to flirting, talking to girls. And there's been multiple videos that have popped up on the internet of him picking up girls that you can learn a lot from. So I'm going to break down a couple of those clips for you.
What's Poppin?
Good start.
So I went to your show last night.
You were there?
Yeah. Did
Swear.
did you not see me?
No, I didn't see you.
I was waving at you.
Okay. I
was
believe
like,
you. I didn't see you.
What was the guy? There was a guy at the front and she had a sign. What did it say?
Fuck me.
Okay, two things to notice right off the bat. One is his energy is just very confident. You can tell by the way he's looking at her, just the energy that he's projecting in his eyes, his body language. He's just extremely comfortable. And that's not easy, especially considering that he's being recorded by a high-end camera and he knows this is going to turn into a YouTube video at some point. That adds a lot of pressure. So he's completely at ease. He is not worried about getting judged. He's not in his head thinking, oh, how am I coming across? He's completely in the present moment, focused on the girl that he's talking to. And he also has a lot of positive energy. He's smiling. He's having fun. He's being playful. The second thing to pay attention to is that she asked, what was the sign that the girl was holding? What did it say? And he replied, fuck me. Now, it is possible that that's completely true. That is what it said. But I think it's more likely that he was just being witty there. That at some point in the past, he was playing a show and a girl had a sign that said, fuck me. And that came to his mind as a funny answer to her question. And that's a great example of cocky comedy. He's basically being very arrogant, but he's getting away with it because of the context, because it's not his fault that the girl had a sign saying, fuck me. That just happened to be the case. So he's being very clever in that this is giving him an excuse to say something that would make him sound like a D-bag if he just said it, but he's actually shifting the blame onto the girl with the sign. It's a very smooth way to be able to say that there's competition, that a lot of women want him without having to sound like a tryhard. He's not saying, oh yeah, by the way, this is a Rolex. It's just coming up naturally. It seems organic.
So, what's your type?
My type?
If a normal guy was drinking juice boxes like that, that could probably come across as really dorky. It depends on your overall energy, but in general, I wouldn't recommend that. However, because he's famous, I think it actually comes across as disarming. It makes him seem more relatable, more normal. It is completely possible for a girl to feel like you're out of her league, like you're too famous, too successful, too attractive, too charismatic, whatever it is. And when she feels that way, she closes up, and it actually makes it harder to pick her up if she feels like you're just way out of her league, because she's going to assume if you want anything from her, it would only be sex. That's all you could possibly want from her. You don't genuinely like her as a person. And when you do things that come across as a little bit dorky, just a little bit, that helps her relate to you and feel that she can connect with you as a real human being.
Dark hair.
I doubt that was a true answer. It was probably just a way to tease her, to kind of imply that she's not an option for him. She's not his type. He's making her feel that if she wants to have a chance with him, she has to win him over with her personality. And that's a great frame to have in the interaction, where the girl feels like she needs to win you over rather than you trying to win her over. It is also possible that he really just likes dark hair, because he does seem to be very unfiltered. He's not someone who's very carefully choosing his words. He's just being authentic. And that also is attractive, the fact that he's going to say the truth even if it's offensive. So I don't know whether he's doing that on purpose to playfully tease her, or if he's just being very authentic. But either way, it's an attractive thing to do.
You know what I like?
Yeah.
Where I'm from, I don't know if they have it out here. They have little boxes in public. You can open them up, and there's little books inside. It's a little library.
Yes.
Take a book, put it back. Never done it. I just like walking past them.
Can you read? Do you?
What the hell is this?
The majority of men today are so conditioned to be apologetic, to be really nice, that when a girl challenges them, they start to apologize. But what Jack Harlow is doing is far more attractive. He's just being ruthlessly honest. She asked him a really stupid question, and he is giving her the appropriate response. What the hell is this? Are you seriously asking, can I read? Now, he's not being mean, he's not being antagonistic about it, but he is perfectly happy to call her out, and that is basically the difference between a guy who has low status and a guy who has high status. Someone who has status is willing to draw boundaries and to say no to things that they don't like.
Do you like to read?
I do.
Jack Harlow has a lot of certainty and a lot of confidence, but he balances that with just a little bit of softness. The way he's like, I do. He sounds compassionate, like he genuinely cares what she is thinking and feeling, and that is very attractive. And this is something that members of the red pill community tend to lack. They tend to be too focused on coming across as alpha and hyper masculine that they're afraid to have any softness or compassion, and it makes you intimidating. Whereas he comes across as still masculine, but also positive and friendly, like he has good intentions. And this is something that is very important to be aware of.
I heard that your weakness is for girls born in the 70s.
It's true.
I was just wondering, like, what about the 90s? Is that
I like the 90s,
cool?
but something about the 70s.
Yeah. Well, what about it?
Well, you are stupid.
I'm stupid.
There, he's basically teasing her and making the conversation more emotional and having fun with it without thinking of anything clever. He's just saying, well, mimicking her, and then saying, you're stupid. Anyone could do that, but it's the energy he's doing it with that makes it very attractive. It's completely in the moment, and he's not being self-conscious or overthinking at all.
Yeah, like in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's this?
Ribena.
Ribena. Do you like it?
It's delicious. First one. And I had my first Lucozade the other day.
Lucozade.
The orange drink.
The Lucozade.
Lucozade.
It really doesn't take much for Jack Harlow to find something funny, and that's a very attractive quality. What happens to a lot of people is, as we grow up, we learn to take ourselves more seriously, to need something to be very clever, to laugh at it. We basically become less and less carefree, but he hasn't let that happen to him. He's just completely enjoying whatever happens in an almost childlike way, but it shows that he's not taking himself seriously, he's not taking the girl seriously, he's able to just have fun. And more than anything, that's what women respond to.
Really, like stuff like
What was
that.
that?
It's like a Manchester thing.
What do you say? Do it again?
Instead of really, really, or at the end, rolla.
Yeah.
Fun.
Just do a whole sentence of something.
Do a whole sentence of something.
Oh, that was quite good.
Quiet, yes, no, yes, quiet, no, yes.
How are the wings?
Oh, the wings. Quite exceptional. A bit of spice, but they're all right.
What's your best chat up line?
Oh, hi,
Is that it?
undefeated.
Hi.
You know what else is undefeated?
That might sound like an overly bland chat-up line, but he's saying it in a way that is very confident, very positive, and the intent behind it is completely clear. That was a great example of why how you say something is more important than what you're actually saying.
Hi, I'm Jack.
You're shaking.
Am I?
Yeah.
Don't start this shit again.
She just challenged him, basically tried to say that he looks nervous, and he said, am I? And he said it with more confidence than she said it with, and then he followed up with, don't start this again. And because he said that with so much confidence, she basically has to capitulate and agree that he's correct.
I saw you hang out with H. He's one of my exes.
I've heard.
Yeah.
That's why I came in here a little bit reserved.
We're good friends.
Try to keep it that way for y'all.
Okay. Cool. I love H.
I know. He loves you. He was telling me all about you.
Really? What did he say?
Wild shit.
No, he didn't. There's nothing to say.
I be seeing him under your pictures too.
Oh, yeah. He's obsessed with me.
Spending time with somebody else and I get to wishing that she was you. Any girl could be beautiful, but not any girl can just be in tune. And you so in tune, you understand me. I make you laugh and you say to me that you can't stand me. You soul food and you eye candy. I want to meet you in Miami and I want you to meet my family.
Okay, well, I'll check my schedule and see if I can. But I probably can. What, like, is the most romantic thing you've done for someone?
Bought them a plane ticket?
Was it a private jet?
No.
Oh.
Back
Economy?
58C.
Have you reached peak cuteness yet?
No.
I know you're still getting cuter by the hour.
You are funny.
I know.
I think I got like 4 years till peak.
4 years, okay.
And then it...
Did you have braces as a child?
I did.
So did I.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know they did those over here.
What? Obviously.
That was a classic jab at British dentistry, which has been known to be subpar compared to what they do in the US.
What you got next? What you got for me next?
How many children do you want?
Many.
Many?
All girls.
Really?
Yeah. I want 8 daughters.
It's a bit excessive.
Okay. It's my answer.
And where would you live? Would you live in a big house with
London.
them?
London.
Oh, you live in London.
In a flat
US.
on Oxford Street. 8 daughters.
With 8 daughters.
Single dad.
And you'd be like rapping around town. Still.
Rapping around town.
Whenever she says something that sounds kind of peculiar or it just comes across in a weird way, he makes fun of it, right? He's just mocking her in a very playful, positive way, but you can see how it causes not only himself to just have more fun and to enjoy himself, but it also gets a positive reaction from her, and that's basically a great technique that you can emulate yourself.
Would you ever move to London for a girl?
For a girl? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I would.
Can you cook?
No.
Ooh.
Not to worry. Can you?
No.
To worry.
I need to pee.
By all means. Don't let me stop you.
I'm gonna wait.
Is that your outro? You about to get up and go take a bit of the piss?
Take a bit of the piss. Can you dance?
A little bit. Ooh. Somebody's been on the internet.
In that clip, Jack Harlow came across as charismatic, playful, vulnerable, while still being overall masculine. And so that was a great example of what picking up a girl should look like. But let's look at the second clip of him approaching Saweetie.
So, Weedy, how it feel doing numbers?
Hey girl, what's up?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Jack.
I know.
Here, his timing is not very good. She literally just started this interview. However, your chances are better if you start an approach with bad timing than if you hesitate and never do it at all. And it also does show a lot of confidence because he knows he's on camera. He knows this is being recorded. He knows she just started an interview, and he's still going to approach her and shoot his shot.
Good to see you. I ain't trying to interrupt. I just want to say hi. How you know?
Like a kid.
You don't like getting caught off guard?
Why you shaking?
Am I?
Yeah.
That's the second time a girl has accused him of shaking. So I don't know if he just has a problem with shaking or if that's when you're famous, that's the way to try to get someone off guard. However, his reaction again was very good. He shows her, "No, I'm not. What are you talking about?" He doesn't back down or apologize. He takes the cockiest possible response to say, "No, I'm not."
Oh,
Nobody's
shade room.
shaking. Nobody's
Oh,
shaking.
shade room. Jack, step into the shade room.
And then he walks away, which normally would not be a good move because if you walk away from a girl, you're probably never going to see her again and you should at least get her Instagram or something, right? But because they're both famous, because they're both at these kind of red carpet events, he's going to see her again and she's going to remember that impression, and it kind of lets him leave in a powerful position, because he did make the first move and gave her the opportunity to reject him, but he's also the first to walk away, which makes him not seem desperate or needy or anything like that. So overall, Jack Harlow, he definitely has game. He knows what he's doing. He's good with women. And although, to be fair, he is famous, which makes it so he gets a lot of opportunities, it means it's easy to be confident when you got girls throwing themselves at you all the time. Regardless of that, he has the kind of energy that you want to have when talking to girls. He's very sure of himself. He doesn't have any hesitance about making a move. He's willing to speak his mind and set boundaries, but he's also able to just have fun and be carefree. And that's the perfect mix of not just being some hard ass who's always trying to control things and disagreeing just to show how alpha you are, but you're also able to let loose and enjoy yourself. And that's the balance that you can learn from Jack Harlow. That's something that's definitely worth paying attention to. And if you're wondering, how do I get that when I'm not someone who's famous? Well, the simple answer is practice, is to get reference experiences where you're talking to girls, and even if you get a lot of rejections, over time you start to get some successes, and you see, you know what, some girls do like me, and over time that kind of becomes an upward spiral where you become more and more confident until eventually you will have that same charismatic energy in your interactions with women that Jack Harlow has. It'll take time, but it is possible to get there. Now, if the idea of approaching women, of talking to girls that you don't know sounds intimidating, or it's something that you just haven't been able to do your entire life, and look, that's the situation for the majority of modern men, the fastest way to overcome that and to get to a point where you see a cute girl, you're able to make a move or shoot your shot, the quickest way to get there is by taking an in-person boot camp with me. Because I've coached hundreds of men who've wanted to improve their dating lives, but they weren't able to actually put themselves out there. They just couldn't handle the pressure, or they were hesitating or procrastinating. They weren't getting real results. And many of my clients had terrible, crippling approach anxiety, but as soon as they showed up for their boot camp, they were able to start approaching girls for the first time in their life. Almost every single time. I've had 2 clients out of several hundred that weren't able to do genuine, real approaches during a boot camp, and those were pretty extreme cases, let's be real. They were far out of the normal range, because I've had many clients who had never approached a girl in their life, who had extreme social anxiety, and despite that, I was able to give them the push they needed to start taking action, to start actually approaching women. And many of them, even if they hadn't been with a girl for over a year, some of them were virgins, they were able to hook up with cute girls during the boot camp. Not every client does that, obviously, but there are many, many examples of guys who had no idea what they were doing, no experience whatsoever. They had no dates. They were not getting laid at all. But when they took the boot camp, within 3 days, they were able to get their first one-night stand. That has happened a number of times, and other similar things have happened, including threesomes. Guys have also met their girlfriends during the boot camp. But even the clients who didn't get laid during the boot camp were able to make so much progress in those 3 days that within several weeks, they were getting results that they had never thought were possible before. But with that said, I'm only doing 1 boot camp per month now. I used to do them every single week, but that was just too much, honestly. But now I'm focusing on other things. So if you're serious about improving your dating life, that is the fastest way to do so. However, I only have 2 spots left in 2021, and I'm going to be booked several months in advance very soon. So if you want to find out more about my 3-day boot camps, then make sure to click the link below to schedule a free 15-minute call with me.